Hello and welcome to Studio 415. On today's show, you will see the many changes happening to the new football stadium. You'll hear an update about whether the CHS lunch menu will go back to normal, and you'll get the necessary information about a local charity that is looking for volunteers. All of that and more coming up next.
Brag about you guys to other districts. I am very proud of our student body. They've been doing everything right.
Going to be second to none. We're going to have the best track around when it's done with the surface.
1 minute to pick up M&Ms from that cup without using your hands, only the spoon.
Welcome to Studio 415. I'm Evan Bushman. Carroll High School's newest construction project is well on its way and tasked with building more than just a stadium. Studio 415 reporter Robert Shear has more on this story.
On March 16, 2020, ground was broken for Carroll High School's new football stadium. The Carroll Football Field has been in construction for 5 months, and major progress has been made. Buildings are starting to become visible, like the elevator tower and concession stands. The turf is beginning to be rolled out over the football field, as well as the outline of the track. Work on the stadium, as well as many other practice and competitive fields, has gone uninterrupted by COVID and weather, which has allowed a steady schedule. The foundation of the bleachers has been laid, and when the stands are completed, the home side will seat 4,500 fans. The visitor side will accommodate 2,000 guests. Assistant Principal and Athletic Director Dan Ginder believes that the new track will be second to none.
We're going to have the best track around when it's done with the surface. It's going to be very similar to what our kids enjoy at the regional level at Indiana Wesleyan. It's going to be that same product, and we're excited about that. That's going to be all for our runners, our track kids, top of the line facility.
Once the end of the season is reached, the old football stadium will be demolished and turned into a new parking lot, which will add an additional 820 spaces. Many students are excited about the new parking lot, with hopes of easy traffic and overall more parking spaces.
I'm excited to see the more parking available. Hopefully it doesn't cause too much of an issue with traffic and the flow patterns, but I'm excited to see what it'll look like.
Carroll football player Chandler Jones believes that the football stadium brings a newfound enthusiasm to his team.
It will affect games tremendously by the atmosphere. I think it'll probably bring a lot of energy to the football team, just knowing that they're in the second biggest stadium in the state, and it'll just be a great time.
Construction efforts on the football stadium are to be completed in 2022. Once the field is completed, the stadium will stand as a monument to Carroll High School and its community forever. For Studio 415, I'm Robert Shear.
Ever since school started on August 12th, returning students found that many changes have been made to keep Carroll clean and COVID-free. One of the biggest challenges has been the cafeteria. Studio 415 reporter Michael ISRABIAN joins us in the studio with the story.
After talking to students and hearing that the biggest complaint is the lack of variety, I sat down with Food Service Director Leanne Kahneman to see what changes have been made and if the menu will return to normal.
Administration and food services have been working together since the shutdown in March for possible plans for reopening. Since choosing to reopen, precautions due to COVID-19 have been put in place after talking to the Allen County Board of Health, the Indiana State Department of Health, and the Governor's Office. One noticeable change is that the lunch lines now have all the same options and are no longer self-serve. Beginning in August, there are 4 usable lunch lines. However, to make things faster, they were increased to 5. Among other safety measurements, extra cleaning has become an essential part of this process, along with a few necessary changes, such as no longer using the plastic trays. Food Service Director Leanne Kahneman says the school had to get rid of reusable trays.
With everybody serving, we did not have the manpower or the time to wash the trays and get them back in time for you guys to utilize them. And the congregate return of those trays were not going to be a safe method. So the disposable trays were required.
Students will also notice that there are 4 lunches instead of the usual 3. This was implemented to decrease traffic and reduce student congestion. Despite the constant changes that students experience, Kahneman believes that students and staff have been adjusting well.
Our students have been amazing, and I brag about you guys to other districts. I am very proud of our student body. They've been doing everything right. I think our staff has gone into overtime and overload on taking care of all the little details and making sure that we're following the rules and keeping everybody safe.
Kahneman knows that the way the cafeteria is currently operating is a huge change, but she and the lunch staff believe that there is a good reason for the new way.
Our goal is just to keep you guys in school and that we can be here for you and serve you to the best of our abilities.
Carroll Senior Lauren Collenbach feels that staff have done a good job at maintaining COVID precautions.
I think they're doing the best that they can right now, and I think it's probably really stressful for them because they gotta scoop everything for us.
Kahneman says that the earliest school lunches can return to normal is by next semester. She hopes that everyone stays safe and continues to move forward. For Studio 415, I'm Michael ISRABIAN.
Last week's Charger Challenge was a recap of a summer competition. This people will get to see the first official contest of this school year. Let's send it out to Andy Newman for this week's Charger Challenge involving M&Ms.
Welcome to Season 3, Week 2 of the Charger Challenge. I'm your host, Andy Newman, and today we're going to have two contestants doing a spoon M&M race, all to win. Whoa. New and improved Studio 415 Cup XL3.
My name is Corbin Kelly. I went to Eel River Elementary and Oakview Elementary, and I'm gonna win because I'm not going against the real Booth. I'm going against Little Booth.
Little Booth, Perry Hill Elementary School. I'm gonna win because I know my way around a spoon.
Okay, gentlemen, you have 1 minute to pick up M&Ms from that cup without using your hands, only the spoon, and take them to that cup. Whoever has the most wins after 1 minute. You ready? You ready? You ready? Going in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, they're digging through the cups here. It's kind of difficult. It is very difficult to do with your hands. Ooh, Corbin Kelly, first one. Good, Corbin. Little Booth still working on it. He's got one, he's got a green. He's putting it in the cup. That's one for Lil Booth. Ooh, Corbin Kelly has 3. Corbin has 3. He has just gotten 3. Booth attempting, just dropped it. Not looking good for Booth. Corbin absolutely destroying the competition right now. Lil Booth and his broken leg, or whatever it is, not going very well. And a miss for Lil Booth. Just used his hand, but we're gonna okay that because that's not really anything. Corbin is absolutely destroying right now. Destroying. Looks like Corbin Kelly might win this one. We have 17 seconds left. 17 seconds for Lil Booth. No, a miss on that one. Corbin destroying, just got 5. Corbin has 5. Boom, they are in. Lil Booth going slow and steady, not really winning the race here. And we are done. I'm pretty safe to say that Corbin Kelly has just won this challenge. After the challenge, the man, the myth, the legend, Corbin Kelly has defeated Lil Booth. How do you feel, sir?
Fan-freaking-tastic.
Lil Booth, how do you feel?
I feel miserable. Horrible performance by myself. I'll come back next time and win it though.
He will not be invited back. Charger Challenge.
In socially limited times like these, it can be difficult for students to find opportunities to fulfill their volunteer hours. Studio 415 reporter Alan Sizemore joins us in the studio to share one volunteer opportunity.
Habitat for Humanity is a national organization which allows lower-income families to purchase quality homes through their volunteer programs. Students can also participate with Habitat on their mission to create better homes for the community. Reselling, constructing, and helping out the local community has been the mission for Habitat for Humanity since 1976. The Fort Wayne chapter of Habitat for Humanity can be found on Lima Road down the street from Costco. Similar to a Goodwill, the Restore is a place where people can drop off used goods to be repurposed by other families in need. Proceeds from selling their used furniture, appliances, building supplies, household items, and more are then invested back into the organization to support their other projects. As well as being a nonprofit, Habitat for Humanity provides accessible volunteer shifts at either build sites or the Restore itself. Many of the Habitat's teenage volunteers say that the nonprofit gives them an opportunity to see how they are truly helping the area.
I've volunteered with people who are volunteering so that they can get their houses built for them. And it's been amazing, meeting people who this organization affects and not just being behind the scenes.
To volunteer at build sites, you must be at least 16 years old, while to volunteer at the Restore, you must be at least 14. All volunteers under the age of 18 must also fill out a waiver to be signed by a parent or guardian. While no prior experience is necessary, Volunteer Coordinator Kelsey Foster states that Habitat for Humanity will assign a variety of tasks to each volunteer in areas that will allow them to excel.
And if anybody at Carroll High School wants to come volunteer, we can accept volunteers as young as 14. And we, like I said, will find a task where everybody feels comfortable and confident doing it, and we'd be really, really grateful for anybody's volunteer hours.
As well as giving many volunteer opportunities, both in groups and alone, the Habitat for Humanity of Greater Fort Wayne has many charity events in and around the Greater Fort Wayne area. To reach their goal of building 20 homes a year, Habitat has worked with United Way, Mustard Seed, and St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Store both to expand the volunteer base and grow the organization. The Restore alone sponsors over 450 volunteers a year and accounts for more than a third of Habitat's annual revenue.
And then over at the construction site, they partner with a lot of businesses and will do build days with that business, or as you mentioned, the Women Build event is a month-long event where just teams of women come to the build site and build the homes together.
Social events in the Fort Wayne area have helped Habitat grow and expand its workforce through the help of local volunteers. In 2019, the Women's Build event alone raised over $158,000 across 81 teams of women for Habitat. The volunteer force is diverse, consisting of people working towards a home, veteran workers, and of course, students. At the end of the day, all participants learn a way to impact the Fort Wayne community.
Everything that happens here at the Restore benefits the greater Fort Wayne area. So you know when you leave the Restore, you have positively impacted your community. But you may also learn a new skill. I've taught volunteers how to use drills for the first time, or you may learn something about doors or plumbing or electric that you didn't know when you came in.
If you're interested in volunteering or giving a donation, HabitatGFW.com has the connections to get you started for working at the Restore or on a build site. For Studio 415, I'm Alan Sizemore.
And that's all we have for today. Thanks for watching. If there's a story you would like us to cover, please send us an email and let us know. For all of us here at Studio 415, have a great week, Carol.
Smiles, lock the halls with me.